Hey, and welcome to Mr. Hill's studio here. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. The fall air is among us, and we're going to learn how to shoot some three-dimensional artwork using the awesome little backdrop that we have here. So, I want you to get introduced to the environment we have. It's about, I'd say 10:30 on a fall day. We have a east-facing garage. We're getting some nice morning, getting closer to the noon hours. We've got sharp light coming in here, and we do not want that light directly hitting our artwork as we're shooting it, but we do want our backdrop to face that nice morning light coming in. Other ways that this can be shot would be underneath a tree during any daylight hours. Cloudy days work very nice. You don't need any kind of deflection or anything like that. Our deflectors are our concrete floor and these white walls around your garage, which work really well. If you have drywall on it, that is a benefit. So, our stand is made up of one bench. Any type of studio stool will work. We have a bench here. We have a bench behind the backdrop that you can't see. And across the bench we use any type of scrap wood we can find. Home Depot likes to sell them for about 33 cents a pop. In the scrap bucket. We have 3 clamps up top. The clamps are what clamp the backdrop down. I have 2 clamps placed on the outside holding the backdrop to the wood. I have 1 clamp in the middle clamping the wood to the stool. I would recommend 4 clamps for this, 1 on each side of the stool to hold the wood to the stool. Your backgrounds can get a little heavy, so you gotta watch out for that. We're gonna be real gentle as we're moving around with this piece here. I have laid a layer of newspaper down underneath the backdrop to provide a little protection against any kind of uneven surfaces that will be underneath it. As we look at our backdrop, we want to make sure we're going from white to black. As we talked about earlier with light diffusion, that light's going to be coming in, you want it hitting this front light spot. That's going to cast a really nice light to flow over the surface of your 3D piece. And then it adds the black contrast in the background, which is really nice, as you'll be able to tell in a bit. So, we're going to set up a couple pieces and we'll talk to you in just a minute. Since I last talked to you, we've done a couple things. We've required a new tool. This is a digital SLR camera on a tripod here. Any simple tripod works. You can get them as cheap as $15 off of Newegg or somewhere online like that. This is a real old tripod, but it works great, solid. Actually, the heavier the tripods, I believe, the better. Same goes for the camera. Helps your steadiness when shooting. Also, since we talked to you, we've dusted off our backdrop. I used a dry, clean towel to get dust off. We also used our air compressor over here, and that's got our backdrop nice and clean. So, what we need to do next is take our actual image. And when I place my piece down on the backdrop, this is one of the most important things, is you go straight down, alright? Set that right on there. Remember, no direct light. One thing you do need to look at when you're prepping your image is, first off, what is your face going to be? What part do you want the viewer to see? This is a tough decision when it comes to three-dimensional artwork. I would consult maybe an educator or a peer about this in order to get the right face to your 3D object. On the more technical side, you want to be looking for shadows in the back, right behind the piece. You do not want these harsh shadows behind you. Now, if there is a little bit of a shadow, it's all right. A lot of times it won't even come out in the image. It blends right into that graded background. The next thing I'd like to talk about is depth of field. You need to take a photography class to truly understand the power of depth of field. But one way we use depth of field in this manner is I want to make sure that I have focus of my whole face. Remember, depth of field is determining what is in focus from the point of the lens to what focal length. So we want this amount of space to be in focus, and if we can get our backdrop out of focus, any blemishes on the backdrop are going to be blurred, and this is going to make our image even cleaner. It's a nice clean backdrop. Now we're ready to shoot. Sometimes when you're taking an extreme shot, you might want to get close up!